It is.
This is Crash Canon. I'm Chris. I'm super excited to introduce the guest today. We've got John. John, who are you?
I am me. I am one of the co-hosts over at the Latin SLAVS, the show that me and Anthony Campbell started. And we've got Majorian on a lot. And he's now our third co-host, which is awesome. I love having him on. We just banter about man stuff. Majorian likes to rant about Nietzsche. I like to rant about storytelling, and Tony likes to rant about anything you could guess. It's awesome.
I was there for the John-a-log. John can definitely tell a story.
Stories are the best. Stories are how I think we understand the world around us.
Absolutely.
So that's just always been my go-to, is just tell a story. And that's how it always pans out. But it's hard to get a story in between Nietzsche rants. So it just ends up being shortened. We have a
Majorian can yap with the best of them. He's a good dude. I like Majorian a lot.
It's
and Anthony, you guys are like, don't tell Anthony and Rob. You guys are my favorite other podcast. To be honest. Yeah. I really enjoy just hopping in. Like, it actually makes me sad sometimes when I realize our schedules are overlapping, and I'm like, I can't get in the chat to hang out with my bros. Anyway,
we love having you in the chat. A little bit about me. New convert. I mean, I've been on this path for the past couple years, but I recently got confirmed this year. This past Easter. So that was awesome to do with my pregnant wife at the time. And now we have a wonderful baby daughter who is currently asleep, and I'm on baby duty. So this is going to get interesting.
Well, at least it should be a safer night being a Sunday than a Monday, right?
It's a little better. And last week she was sick, and was the first time being sick, and she's leaking from everything.
Oh yeah.
My wife was out of the house at the time, so I had to quit the show last week on Monday so early.
You know, it's funny. The first time one of my kids got sick, like some old person's like, "Give them whiskey," and I'm like, "Bro, this isn't like the 1940s. You can't just give a baby whiskey."
You can give them a little finger of whiskey. The only problem is
what I meant was you can't publicly talk about it.
The only hard alcohol I would ever give her, or that I had it on hand at the time, not that I ever did it, was vodka. And you just put your pinky in it, and then the face is interesting, but then she's like, okay, we're good.
Oh, hypothetically speaking,
yeah. In Minecraft, we thought about giving her vodka, and it might have worked.
Do you know what's funny is my first blackout experience as a definitely 21-year-old who was not in high school was the cheapest vodka I've ever had in my life. It was this stuff called it was like Nikolai or something.
Nikolai. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was a whole bottle of it in this college dorm I was at for reasons. And somehow I wound up with the whole bottle.
Oh.
Yeah. I ended up longboarding through all of Cleveland down the bus route, allegedly in Minecraft. And then it was crazy. Something. Let's put it that way.
The first time I did something like that, I had gotten one of my cousins to hypothetically buy me a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I drank the whole thing in one night. And hypothetically, this was before someone's graduation. Maybe my own. But we'll never know. And I never drank Jack Daniels again.
I don't drink anything that sounds like it came from some Slavic country, like Nikolai.
Nikolai.
Nope. I won't touch that.
Okay.
Again.
But when it comes to vodka, always go Polish before Russia. Okay. Their quality is just so much better. It's such better vodka. It goes down easy, and it's good for sipping.
Good for sipping.
If you want to just chug it, then do whatever the Ruskies do. The Muscadet.
We've already got 2 comments in the chat here. Since we're already at this point of the podcast,
I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why I'm Baby Spice. He started commenting that like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago in our chat and named us all some sort of spice. Somehow I ended up being Baby Spice.
That's funny.
Crazy.
We've got somebody else saying rough hangovers from Jack. Stop drinking before the age of 21.
I didn't get a hangover, but that's because I was drunk the next morning.
That does work. If you keep drinking when you wake up, you won't be drunk. Well, you won't be. You
no,
will be
I
drunk.
never.
You won't
I
be
never.
hungover.
I know. I never slept off the drunkenness. I just stayed drunk the whole time.
That'll work. That'll do it. Hey,
Don't
listen.
do that. It's bad.
Any,
It's
of any of the young kids listening to this,
don't
show,
do that. It was
don't
so
do
bad.
that.
It's so bad. It's terrible.
You know what's? I did read a statistic that beer is being rejected by Gen Z.
I have so many words for that. Mostly because I've got a beer now. It's a wonderful winter ale, and it's fantastic.
Well, what I mean by beer, I mean like the binging beer that like people my age did in college.
Binging beer.
It's like people aren't binging like a 30 rack of Bud Light. You guys are drinking like some sophisticated dark beer so you don't get fat.
Oh no, my next one up is a Coors Banquet. So let's not go too far. I do enjoy a nice fancy ale or whatever. But like people who drink IPAs, I can't.
That is disgusting.
I can't. IPAs, pale ales.
Listen, the acronym has India in the title. Okay,
why would I drink it?
Yeah,
at that point,
I'm gonna drink something American,
something good, something American, something made. And I mostly drink stuff made in the state where I'm at, is Colorado. I mostly just drink Colorado beer.
Have you and the other one of the previous guests of both our shows met up before in person?
I have.
Yeah, nice, cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love that guy. I need to text him soon.
He's a cool dude. Maybe I'll text him right now. No,
text him right now. Get him on the chat.
What's going on?
No. But drinking Colorado beer in Colorado is nice because I can buy a 24 rack of Coors Banquets for $20.
Okay.
So it's
did beer lead to your conversion to the Catholic Church? No,
it did partially, actually.
Did it really?
That is.
Have you seen the meme of the priest blessing beer and like the bars?
I have seen that. Yeah.
I've got like some actual priests I know that have done that. And I'm like, you are awesome.
That is so cool. That's so nice. I was at our Byzantine church today, and there was a bunch of wine, and the bishop was in town. So we had a hierarchical liturgy today, and he was blessing the food and the drinks. It was so cool. It's the coolest thing ever. But yeah, it did lead to my conversion a little bit because
should we start with the conversion or how you and Anthony know each other?
We can start with me and Anthony because he's actually part of that story as well.
Okay, let's start with that then.
We were attending this as a good friend of ours who was Anglo-Catholic for a while. Likes to refer to it. We went to this Evangelican church. It was a Anglican church, not part of GAFCON, so they're not in communion with Canterbury, but they were a church.
Neither is GAFCON now, though.
Oh yeah, that's crazy stuff. They were a church plant from Rhodesia, weirdly enough.
Weird.
I think it was Rhodesia.
How does that even work out?
Well, so all these Anglican churches in Africa, I think it was Rhodesia. It might have been something different. I don't even remember now.
Because GAFCON's big in Africa.
GAFCON's big, but I think now they are under the ACNA.
Okay, all right.
So they were a church plant from Rhodesia, all this stuff, because America was the new mission ground
for the Anglican Church.
For the Anglican Church, because
look how that worked out.
Because we forgot about God somehow.
Yeah.
But we had met at that church, and I had seen him at our college that we were attending at the time, and I didn't finish. He finished and then went on to Steubenville, but we had met at the church, and we met on, I think it was Monday, Thursday, and our understanding at the time was That's when you break Lent. That's when you have a good time.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. So I was the only one who was 21 in my group of friends, and nobody wanted to go grab beers with him because he went to evangelical college. So we just kind of looked at each other and went, "You want to go out for beers? We gave up alcohol for Lent, so like let's just go get beers." Monday, Thursday. Crazy stuff.
There you
go. And we ended up making really good friends. We were talking about C.S. Lewis and Tolkien that night and talking a lot about that. And we ended up grabbing beers at this one pizza place for months at that point. And then he graduated, and we ended up just making really good friends, really best friends. He ended up being one of my best men in my wedding, and then I was one of his best men in his wedding. We had this weird situation, but
okay,
where we had two best men because both of our best men who were number one choices were both in the military, so we didn't know if they were going to be there or not.
I've never heard of that, but that makes sense.
So, and I was like, you're one of my best friends, so I would like you to still be a best man. So we ended up doing that. And he's the one who drugged me to the dark side of Catholicism.
The dark side.
The dark side.
Well, what were you before?
I grew up non-denominational.
Non-denom BizCath. No, I'm just kidding.
That's great stuff. No, so my mom's family grew up Catholic, Mexican Catholic. And my dad's family grew up very Baptist, Presbyterian, whatever. Both sides are actually Mexican. I'm only technically a quarter Ukrainian.
Oh, okay. All right. So there is some Ukrainian going on.
No, there is Ukrainian. There's a lot of French and Spanish.
To be fair, there's more Mexican bizlarpers than there are Ukrainian bizlarpers.
That was the craziest thing. Is first walking in, I was introduced to this Byzantine liturgy through a fellow Mexican. and I made a joke with one of the parishioners there when I first started. I was like, as a Slav, I walked into this church expecting to see a bunch of Slavs. All I see are Hispanics and some German guys. Like, what's happening right now?
It is an odd combo.
It's a strange combo. But anyway, so I grew up, and they ended up. My mom left the Catholic Church when she was a kid, brought the rest of her family over to the evangelical or Protestant side. So now my mom's immediate family is all Protestants, but her extended family, cousins and everything, are still Catholic. So that's been interesting going in. And my dad's family is still to this day very anti-Catholic. But I also say a lot of things. So they don't like it very much. There's one time my uncle pulled me aside before I told him we were going to be Catholic, before I had started attending OCIA. He's like, just so you know, I think all Catholics are going to hell.
Wow.
And I was like, great stuff. Where did that come from? That was out of nowhere.
Wild. That is wild.
Yeah, but it's not unusual. Even my Ukrainian great-grandfather, when he was still in Ukraine, I don't remember what year it was, but he left Orthodoxy and went to the evangelical church that was being established in Ukraine. Yeah, it's bizarre. Like 3% of the population is Protestant.
Yeah, because Ukraine is like almost, isn't it majority Orthodox, like a small percentage Catholic, and then like a really teeny tiny percentage. Well, there's a Jewish percentage there too somewhere.
There's always been a Jewish community in Kiev.
Yeah.
But there's a super teeny tiny Protestant community brought forward by the Germans who ruin everything, like always. They ruin everything. That's a different topic.
Hey, don't get too harsh on the Germans. I got some German in me somewhere.
I'm just saying, it all started with Charlemagne after the council. I keep saying this. He brought up a lot of iconoclastic top points when he responded to Nicaea. But
listen, the Holy Roman Empire at one point went through Germany for many, many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know their history, there was 3 Ottos and then 2 Henrys all in a row that were all. That one was the Duke, I think, the Duke of Bavaria, and then became the emperor because of familial relations. But yeah, which is funny because the bishop that's talking about all this, he had been slandering this Henry guy for like a long time. And then he found out he was going to be the emperor, and all of a sudden he changed his tune. He's like, "Oh no, this guy's great.
He's so cool. He's a great guy."
The best part is he left the narrative where he's like slandering this guy for like 100 pages in the book and just kept writing. He's like, whatever. Nobody's going to read this anyways. And
then people read it and went, what?
And now it's like the only like actual cataloging of that part of history from the perspective of a bishop in that area. It's
that's like, nuts. That's crazy. No one's going to read this. Okay.
Exactly.
Everybody in their history
Hold classes. My beer.
Hold my beer, guys.
Oh, sorry. We got
no, you're good. I grew up non-denominational evangelical. I went to community churches, is what they were called. I remember asking my mom when I was a kid, like, what does it mean that we're a community church? What does that mean? She's like, they were a community church.
Okay.
All right.
Better than a communist church.
Oh, there's no such thing.
Right. Well, you'd be surprised. Anyway.
They can attempt. They can attempt a lot of things. I have things to say about communism.
There's a church called Vatican Baptist. Yeah.
What?
Why would you call it Vatican Baptist Church? Anyway.
Crazy stuff. So I grew up my whole life anti-Catholic.
Yeah.
And I had moved out because I grew up in LA. Because that's where all my family is. You grew up
in LA?
Yeah.
Dude, nice.
Yeah, it was awful. It was terrible. I left for a reason.
I've been to LA once.
Yeah.
One time. And it was because of a layover on a flight. I left the airport for like an hour. Is terrible. I left the airport for 1 hour. I will never go back to LA again.
I wouldn't blame you. The only thing that I like when I go back to California to visit my family is looking around and being like, oh, this is my childhood. But then I look around and I'm like, oh, it's not. It's not my childhood.
You're like, wait a second.
This place sucks.
That's funny.
I still can't help but be a Dodgers fan as being a Mexican and being from LA. It's hard to not be a Dodgers fan. So that's
weren't
hard.
The Dodgers the ones that had that horrible was the Sisters of Perpetual Infidelities or something?
I hope not. I don't remember that, but probably. Yeah, they're awful. They're terrible.
It was literally like drag queen nuns. That was what Bishop Strickland was protesting. I'm pretty sure that was the Dodgers. I got to look this up. Keep going.
I bet they just won the World Series this weekend, so that's exciting against Canadians. So it must not have been hard.
Well, you know, the Dodgers, I will take a American team over a Canadian team. At least there's that much. But I may not like it.
I don't like it either. And I'm a Dodgers fan. But so I grew up in LA.
It was the Sisters
of
Perpetual Indulgence. Yeah. Oh no. That was the one that Strickland got in huge trouble for too.
I believe it. I've gotten in trouble with some evangelical friends when that happened too. And now they're like, oh, you support these people? And I'm like, oh, you support the MOB? Congratulations. You're in the same group as me. I don't know what you want me to say.
You know, I don't think you could find a sports team out there without some kind of bad controversy at some point in time. I don't think you
can find anything without bad controversy.
You just got to pick the one that's the least controversial or something from your hometown. And then, you know,
something
then you got
from your hometown or where you live. I'm struggling right now because my daughter has to be a Broncos fan or something crazy that has to do with Denver. And I'm like, but every team sucks. Avalanche was good like a few years ago, and now they just suck in hockey. But
At least the Broncos had that Super Bowl with Peyton Manning.
Years ago. What have they done since? Nothing.
They didn't have
They
Peyton
didn't do
Manning.
anything.
No. Yeah.
The Denver Broncos was Peyton Manning. That's it.
Peyton Manning was not the reason they won that Super Bowl. They had like the number one defense in the league.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, literally number one defense.
Number one defense. They did great. But yeah, grew up in LA, and I moved out here because there was some stuff that happened in my family's past. How I would describe it then, I would describe it differently now. But how I described it then was I was leaving ghosts behind.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts that would haunt me. Say like when I was a little kid, when I was 10, my father passed away, sadly from leukemia, and that haunts me to this day. But
I don't doubt that. That's tough.
Yeah, it was awful, and it haunts me, especially when I was living there. And I was like, this is just where I'm reminded every day that I'm not like everybody else. My dad didn't just leave. My dad didn't stay around to become a loser. He just died. And
how old was he?
He was 48.
That's young. Wow.
Yeah, and it was really acute leukemia, so it was like a 2-week process.
Jeez, that quick?
Yeah, I mean, he complained.
Like diagnosed to that was wow.
He never got diagnosed.
Oh,
because he didn't go to the doctor. I also don't go to the doctor, but he complained about a toothache, and then he died. Basically.
And so they like diagnosed him after the fact that he had leukemia?
Mm-hmm. He officially died of a brain aneurysm because he was just so weak. But it was interesting. So I had, after all that and all the whatever trauma or whatever I had then, because I was weak, I moved here. And I worked a ranch.
And about what age did you move here? Or here, I say here,
19.
is that from there? But
no, yeah. I moved to Colorado when I was 19.
That's pretty young to be out on your own like that.
Well, I was working for family, and I was living on the ranch. So I was working the ranch, and then also during the day going on a construction or a general contractor's job that I had at the time. And I came back to Christ around that time, in a sense. Kind of, not really, but kind of. Like I started believing in God again. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe God is real.
You know, you said is real too close together. It almost sounded like a different
I have to
word.
spread it out next time.
Yeah, make sure you're not saying that too close.
Sorry, BB.
Oh, man. Sorry, BB. You're no longer Baby Spice. You're BB Spice.
BB Spice. I can't get my 7,000 now.
No, BB Spice would get you 7,000.
You think so? Start just saying BB Spice everywhere. Just start spamming Twitter with BB Spice.
Not on Yahoo.
Who? I don't know who you're talking about.
On Twitter, not on Yahoo. Anyways.
So I had started attending a Calvary chapel out there. I didn't love it, but I was like, this is the closest thing I've got. This
is Calvary Chapel one of the more conservative ones, or is it one of the? I can't remember.
It's more conservative, but it really depends. Calvary Chapel really blew up. I think it was the 70s. Okay. So in Southern California, LA, I don't know if you've heard about this. There was like thousands of baptisms or whatever in like the ocean.
Is that one of those like revival type groups? Like, we have the revival going on.
But it's really the thing that established the modern evangelical movement in the evangelical church. It's what really brought it to the forefront. And like, this is why our Protestant churches look like this now. Calvary Chapel established itself as non-denominational, and then it spread everywhere.
Well, before the non-denom movement, I mean, most Protestant churches resembled a like plain Jane Catholic church, essentially. Mm-hmm. Then post like the non-denom widespread adoption style. You get like these more stagey kind of things, right?
And that's essentially what Calvary Chapel was, and then it's from there. It's not like that, and it's not like the big rock stage. They still have like they like to keep their community small, guitar, like all that stuff, and that's what my parents really loved. My dad really loved Calvary Chapel, so I was like, okay, I'll just start attending there, see what happens. And then eventually, I didn't expect to, but I ended up going to university after a while, and after a couple years of not, I graduated high school, and then I didn't start college until I was 21, 20, somewhere around there. And I went to this evangelical college that my little brother had been going to, and I started being like, okay, let's start exploring. I don't know what's going on. I'm friends with half the theology department somehow, some way. I don't know what happened. So I started exploring, and one of my friends was like, you want to try this Anglican church with me? And I was like, sure. So we ended up staying there for years. It started with
tried it and stayed.
We tried it and stayed, and we stayed, and people thought we were some crazy borderline Catholics.
Really?
Yeah, because we had liturgy in our some sort of form of liturgy. Like there's a structure to it. There's written down prayers. Like that was controversial at that point.
Because of the Anglican aspect?
Because of the Anglican aspect, and also written prayers. Evangelicals that I was around, like they were not down with that. They thought it was culty.
Was this the Evangelic Anglican, whatever the heck church?
Anglican, yeah. It's the same one.
Okay, so what's funny about that is there's like a version of like the evangelical movement that is getting more liturgically structured.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically just stealing Anglican traditions.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Anglo-Catholic Church, which we do have here in Denver, St. Mary's, that I've been to.
And I don't know how true this is, but I've heard it from like 3 or 4 people that I trust. But the Methodists are basically an Anglican tradition too.
They spun off of the Anglican tradition itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like my grandparents were Mexican Methodists.
Okay.
Which is also strange to think about now. My parents met at a Methodist church that I have their hymnal. Weirdly enough, but it's all in Spanish.
If it makes you feel better, I found on archive.org a pamphlet from what used to be called the United Brethren in Christ, which I think eventually became the Methodist Church in America. Okay. They combined. But one of my ancestors is one of the original ministers of that church, apparently. So I'm like,
ew,
I'm like, no. No, don't.
No, don't do this to me, man. Don't do this.
So that pamphlet will never see the light of day. We'll put it that way.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. There's worse things I found in my ancestry than that.
Oh,
much worse.
I have worse stuff too in my ancestry.
I don't know if you can top some of the stuff I found in mine.
Oh, is that right?
There was a certain movement in Russia in the early 1900s that family members of mine may have been involved in.
You talking? I also have family members involved in that. So if we're talking,
do they have their own Wikipedia articles? Because that's how bad it gets for mine.
No, we weren't cool enough. No, my family, when it comes to, say, hypothetically, the Russian Revolution, is my great-great-grandfather, my Baba's father, who became a Protestant missionary in Argentina after he ran away. He fought in World War I, fought for the Tsar, got captured, switched teams, finished out the war, and then ran away to Argentina.
Lovely.
Great stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to share the family history that I found online because that's the kind of stuff you don't share in public. Okay, your story's fine. Like that's fine to share.
I've got other stuff too. I've got other stuff too that I probably shouldn't share publicly.
What I've got is it's too much for my channel to withstand.
That's fair.
I can text you it later. You'll be interested.
Yes, please. I
It's
would
pretty
love to
bad.
see that.
It's pretty bad.
Russian history is really interesting, and I found I didn't understand that history and that story until I became Catholic.
Yeah, that makes
or
sense.
even Byzantine. Like I would look at the facts and be like, okay, that's interesting, but I didn't have, say, an Orthodox or Catholic historiography, a way of looking at history to really analyze what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, this makes more sense now.
Join Chris on his new Cozy channel to hear more. Haley's gonna get me kicked off YouTube, guys. Cozy TV, here we come.
Oh
anyway,
boy.
Just take another drink before this continues.
Yeah, I'm pouring out a Coors Banquet at the moment. Wonderful.
Don't tell anybody. They can just assume by the color of it that it's something very special.
Nah, it's gonna be normal colored.
Okay, fine. It's just your standard bartender drink. Okay, so you guys are attending this more anglicized liturgy. People think you're kind of Catholic. Is Anthony in the picture yet?
Anthony is not in the picture until probably I've been attending there for maybe a year. And this is where beer gets into the story. The first time I attended this Anglican church, it was like a Thanksgiving potluck, like the next day. And I went and they had beers. So good. I was like, what? Anglicans drink beer? I'm going to be Anglican forever. Even that
little did you know I
know I would get
Catholics
worse.
like it too.
I get dragged into the hole. So I had been attending that for a few years by that point. Tony gets into the picture a year in because he starts attending too. We become quick friends. But then something weird happens. Anthony decides to become a papist.
Oh, so he went first.
So he started to attend a Catholic church because he talked to me a little bit about it. He was like, I'm thinking about looking more into the Catholic church. And I was like, why? Like, I get it, but why?
I get it, but why?
Because even by that point, I was defending Catholics.
Okay.
With always saying, like, I would never be Catholic, but you're lying about them now. So
the real redeemed Zoomer, please stand up.
Please stand up. That's crazy. So what ended up happening was me and him I would go to mass with him, and then he would come to our Anglican church with me, and then we get beers and pancakes after. And it's
a good combination.
It is a great combination. If you're at an Irish pub and you get pancakes and beers, fantastic. Well, he got something else, but I got pancakes.
You say you got something else as if it's like something secretive that you can't share it.
Like, no, I don't even remember. Something healthy or whatever, because he's a bodybuilder. So he's like,
ordering lettuce with salami or something.
I gotta keep my figure, whatever.
No. His dainty figure.
Yeah, he would drink like a beer and then have whiskey from then on in. And I was drinking beers the whole time.
I can't fault him for the whiskey. That's a good choice.
It is a good choice. So he started doing that, and then at some point I had met my now wife at the university. And there's a whole story with that, but she rejected me like 3 times before she actually went out with me.
Really?
Yeah. She rejected me. She ghosted me the first time. Ghosted me a second time, and then outright rejected me the third time. The whole time she actually did like me. So she did want to date me. Why was she
doing that?
I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it, but it was more of like, she's like, I'm just going to ruin you and everything. I'm like, please don't say that. I want to be with you forever. So that's funny. But we ended up dating. And the whole time, like, even some of my roommates at the college were like, you're like the closest thing I have to a Catholic friend. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're like, what does that even mean?
What do you mean I'm close to being Catholic? And eventually we keep going down these roads, rabbit holes, whatever. And I find myself calling Anthony and being like, hey, I need you to answer some questions. Because I was this close. I was like a hairline away from being Catholic. And he answers a few of the questions. He couldn't answer all of them at the time. And I texted.
Was he converted yet, or is he still?
He was converted. I think he got confirmed later because that was like November. So
he was going through like OCIA probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was already at Steubenville, so he had already gone off. And
oh wow, okay, so this was after he left in Steubenville, going to Franciscan, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, "Hey, buddy, what's this
I need
Catholic
help
thing?"
And he had answered,
but not the bat signal.
No, yeah, pretty much. And I had texted my then just before we got engaged, then girlfriend, and was like, "Hey, I think we need to be Catholic." And she's like, "I know."
Just I know, okay.
And I was like, "What do you mean you know? I've been talking about how much I don't want to be Catholic this whole time." And she's like, "You're going down that road."
She had a read on the situation. She knew what was going on.
She knew what was going on. So then we talked, and it turned into, she said, "I'm not where you are." Because by this point, I've been 3 years, like, accidentally digging myself into the Catholic hole.
You're like digging into the catacombs, and she's like standing at the entrance.
And she's like, "What's happening?" So I'm like, "Let's just do this now. Like, let's get confirmed this Easter. Let's get confirmed early. Like, let's do this thing." But she was like, "I'm not ready." And I was like, "Okay." And part of a promise I gave to her at the beginning was I would do this with her. Because her big fear was like, "You're just going to leave me in the dust. And I'm just going to be left all alone." And I was like, okay. So my decision then was, okay, I'm going to wait this out with you, which I think looking back was a good idea. Because I don't think I was ready. I was zealous and I was ready.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready for what was to come. And
now, had either of you been baptized Trinitarian formula prior to that?
We had both been baptized, good. So that made.
Because that's like the one thing I'd be like, maybe you should go do that, even if you're not ready for OCIA.
Yeah,
like get
no,
baptized.
that part made it easier. So we had already been baptized. She also grew up evangelical. Sorry, I mix them up. And when I first started dating her, one of the downsides I told my friend was, she's evangelical. Looking back now, crazy statement. I was basically evangelical.
Just didn't realize it.
Just didn't know it. But I had brought her over to the Anglican church. We had been going through the Anglican catechism as I had decided we're just going to be Catholic. We lasted 2 sessions. Because there was one time, the second class, they gave us a scripture reading and they asked us to, like, what is your interpretation of this? Or like, what do you think of this scripture verse? It was the road to Emmaus. And when Christ breaks the bread, blesses it, they recognize him and he disappears.
Yeah.
They were giving, like, we were told to discuss it at our little tables, and they were giving me some weird answers. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, this is obviously the Eucharist.
You're like, bro, how could you not see this?
What are you saying? And we never went again. we never went back. And then that Sunday we attended Mass, and we never went back to the Anglican church. We're just like, yep, we're just going to go full force.
Now, at this point, are you attending a Roman Catholic church, a Byzantine Catholic
Novus
church?
Ordo.
Novus Ordo.
And we started the OCIA class there in the middle of the class. And the teacher of that class was someone
It's probably better that way.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe a little bit.
Not over the Byzantines, but sometimes.
No. I meant like not having to sit through all of the classes. You got to skip a few.
I'll get there, because
All
I
right.
went through this and another class.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So we started attending the associated class because the teacher of the class, the catechist, was a friend of Antony's,
Okay.
who's actually my sponsor and my godfather to come into the church. Now,
Okay, so maybe missing those classes wasn't a good thing.
It's fine. Oh, because we ended up going to a different OCI class. But so we ended up going through this class, and Kimmy, my wife, was very like, she wanted to buy into it, but there were still a few hesitations. And I was all in. So I was ready to go. I was ready for the races. Our catechist was like, we can get you guys confirmed this year. And my fiance was just, she was not ready for it. She's like, I can't morally do this when I'm not ready for it. I was like, okay, we'll wait. That was a big argument. But so we did that, and then he's actually, the catechist actually is Byzantine.
Oh, really?
Working at a Novus Ordo parish. Yeah.
How odd.
Yeah, well, it's crazy stuff. He still works there.
I mean, technically, like, people employed at the church don't have to be of the same rite of the church that they're working at, which is very strange. Although it's not as strange as finding out there was a sacristan in, like, I think it was one of the Chicago dioceses who was a Muslim. Like, how does that happen?
That's crazy.
I know.
How does that even happen?
I gotta Google this story because I'm still like, that still bothers me that was real. I gotta find this again. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, yeah. So he introduces us to the Byzantine parish. My fiance was out of town visiting friends, and I went alone. And I was like, no way. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I feel like I just touched heaven just by standing in the room. And I never went back. I mean, I went back to the Novus Ordo because we agreed that we would stay there. But I was like, we're going to be Byzantine at some point. She's like, okay, I'm agreeing to be Catholic. Like, let's take it down a notch.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Meanwhile, John's like, you put one foot in front of the other. No, I'm just kidding.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I stand by that movie.
My kids like it.
Santa Claus movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And so I decided this, and we keep progressing, and then we don't get confirmed there. So what ends up happening is that we attend a different Novus Ordo that's a little closer to both of us because we're still not married yet, so we're living in separate places. So we find something a little more in the middle, which ended up being the place that I would attend with Antony for Mass, and then going to our Evangelical church.
I was like, the same one you used to go to, huh?
This is the same. I know this place. I've been here before. Yeah, and we ended up getting confirmed there after a whole nother year. So 2 years as candidates, and now we're here. And it was only recently, because we had been attending the Byzantine liturgy on and off for the past 2 years, or almost 3 years now. We'd been attending on and off, but it wasn't until probably a couple months ago that we kept attending Novus Ordo parishes and then going back to Divine Liturgy. And my wife was like, why don't we just stay here?
You're like, yes!
I've been waiting for you to say this to me. I've been waiting for this moment. This is my moment. So
He's like, I knew I married you for a reason.
Exactly. And it's great stuff. So, it's not that unusual of a story. It's pretty simplistic, but it was transforming. When I was a child, when I was a teenager and everything, before I was Catholic, I struggled a lot with depression and anxiety and all that stuff. And since deciding to become Catholic, haven't had an episode. Not one. And
I firmly believe it's transformative in those kinds of ways.
and it's a reworking of priorities as well.
Yeah.
So even I talk to my family now, and our priorities are completely different.
Right.
So a few weeks ago, why my wife is working Sunday nights and Monday nights is she had to quit her job. So we had the baby. I thank you to the Colorado tax system. We were able to stay home because they have a family leave plan where they pay you a partial bit of your pay every week, and it lasts for 3 months. I used up 1 month so I could stay at home with her and the baby. She used up all 3. And we ended up hiring this nanny to come stay with the baby while we were at work. But then she ended up quitting on us at some point at like 9 o'clock at night on a Monday night.
Ooh, yeah, that sucks.
And my wife wasn't working 5 days a week. It was only 3 days. It was a super frustrating situation. But so she ended up leaving. And my family is like, well, why don't you get like this really cushy job? Why don't you get this nice career girl bossy job? My wife's like, no, I'd rather just be with my child. And I was like, yep, that's how we feel. That's how we feel. That's how we think. And the longer and longer this plays out, the more and more I realize we don't think the same. Our priorities
your family and you're saying, not you and your wife, obviously.
No. So me and my wife think similar, but me and my family think very different.
I've got a very similar situation. I understand what you're saying. It's like a total difference of priorities. Like it's like you're speaking a different language.
It is. And you say the same words. You say the same things. And I'm like, oh, we're not talking about the same thing at all.
Yeah.
And they try to say all these like evangelical coded words. And I'm like, we don't talk about things like this.
Right.
We don't. Yeah. It's just strange. Or even having, say, like me being the head of the household is odd. I mean,
they don't like that kind of language. That language bothers them.
No, it really does. So I've threatened to make some really funny jokes in front of my family. And my wife just goes, please don't do that. They're going to get really mad. They're going to get mad if you say that. Like, okay, fair enough.
Like, yeah, fine.
I say enough to piss them off anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, reworking of priorities, or even what I was talking about before, the historiography, how I look at history has changed. Even deciding we would become Catholic and me looking into history more, not just the early church fathers, but everything else. I even told my mom, like, it just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Because before I'm seeing things in periods, I'm seeing things very scientifically. Scientifically, whatever that means.
Follow the science.
Follow the science. So anyway, I'm looking at stories that I grew up on, say like Russian or Ukrainian fairy tales, or even German fairy tales. Stories.
You're talking about German fairy tales. You're talking about like the Brothers Grimm and all that?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, because I knew them growing up, or even watching the Disney movies.
Yeah. Although those have happy endings.
So different.
You don't learn lessons from the Disney ones. They all have happy endings. The Brothers Grimm, it's like mermaid dies, bro.
Or even becoming the same thing of like, I'll talk about something hard or sad, and my family's like, well, that's not happy. Like you shouldn't talk about that. What do you mean?
They're missing the redemptive suffering. That's what they're missing.
Yeah. They're missing that bit. And it's just been frustrating to be like, guys, I'm not saying crazy things here, but you all sound like those post-apocalyptic movies of saying everything is fine. Is it fine?
Do you know where I hinge it on one line of the gospel? Maybe you know it's not the gospel, the Bible. Mm-hmm. It's Genesis 3:15. Okay. Up until the Protestant, we'll say, Reformation, the understanding of Genesis 3:15 was she shall crush thy head, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until post, we're talking like way post, and actually there's a lot of reasons why that is, but post Reformation it was changed to he shall crush thy head, from recontextualizing sources and stuff. You know what that means? If it's he shall crush thy head, if it's Jesus crushing the head on his own, faith alone makes total sense. Why would you have to do anything? Jesus is coming in to take care of everything for you.
Yeah. Why would you have to go to a priest for anything?
Right. If it's she shall crush the head of the serpent. Wow, that puts some onus on the church, the bride of Christ, the mother of God. Like, people that exist have to do something because she is not part of the Trinity.
Yeah. Yeah. And that blows people's minds. Yeah. I will be right back.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to pull John out of here real quick. We're going to talk about my favorite thing to talk about here. Let me pull it up for you guys. Okay. And we're going to do a quick little spiel about a mutual friend of ours here. We did it last week. We're going to do it again today because why not? Sharing my screen. And there we go. Check out Black Monk rosaries. Okay. They've got the most durable rosaries I've ever seen. I actually do have one myself. Bought it for my wife a while back. It was a single decade Lady of Lourdes rosary. Our Lady of Lourdes rosary. My goodness, I can't speak today, guys. But I can attest to the quality. It's paracord. They're homemade. They get all their stuff from monasteries and other places around the world that are very Catholic. If I say anything wrong, I hope that they will come and correct it with a comment on the channel. But let's see. We highlighted the autism awareness rosary last week. Let's highlight Irish. Let's look at the Irish one today, guys. Here we go. So Irish rosaries. They've got St. Patrick's Chaplet. There's two different versions of it. We got the Sanctus I don't even know if you Patricius, maybe. You got Sanctus Columbanus. And by the way, I always say this name wrong. That saint is very cool. Look up Sanctus Columbanus. Then we got another Sanctus Patricius. Bro can be a mod, question mark. Is that a question? I'm very confused. All right. Let's check out some other cool Black Monk rosaries. Oh, by the way, we do have this cool thing. I wonder if this is still going on, but it says 10% discount promo code. That's BLVM special. So check that out. They also have some cool leather pouches too. We've got the distressed brown leather pocket pouch, the long pouch distressed brown leather, some suede. Ooh, got some cowboy stuff going on here. He wants to be a mod. Okay, got it. Do we need more mods? That's what I'm not sure about. Let me see. How do I make people mods? Well, just for the record, the only mod that's the head mod is Haley. She's already in the chat. Yeah, St. Columba, the one who rode the bear. Yeah, Columba. That's what it is. St. Columba. That's the anglicized version of her name. She's cool. You barely need me. Thanks, Haley. But we do need you. Just barely. It's all good. Let's see. I'm going to trust Simeon on his word here. We'll give him the smaller mod privileges, not the full mod privileges. Let's see here. I don't know. First time here, random live stream recommendation. Thanks, Ben Duro. We appreciate you being here. Have you ever watched the Latin Slavs? That's a real question for you. If not, you definitely should. I do appreciate you all being here. We're up to 9 now. Dude, the live chat on YouTube is getting crazy because we've got John here from the Latin Slavs podcast. If you guys have never seen Latin Slavs podcast, you guys should check them out. I'm going to pull their channel up now that I've plugged Black Monk long enough. let's go to the Latin Slavs podcast, and you guys should check them out. There's a link. If you go to the title, you should subscribe to them. They're really awesome. Crash is the master judge of character. That is a fact. I am a master judge of character. Y'all should trust whatever I recommend. Go buy a Black Monk Rosary. Let's see. Latin Slavs pod. I spelled it wrong. So, John, my guest today, looks like you're getting newbies in here. That is pretty cool. I'm actually surprised because although it is streaming on a Sunday, we don't normally do this. Latin Slav. Why is it not YouTube? All right, we're going to find it. For some reason, it's not letting me find their actual channel right now. That's cool. Gonna fail live on stream. That's how you like to do things, is failing live on stream. Okay, there we go. I don't know what I spelled wrong. All right, let's see. This is the channel that John is a part of, the Latin Slavs podcast. They usually do live shows on Mondays and occasionally other days. So what is a Slav? I'll let John, my friend John here, tell everybody what a Slav is.
What a Slav is? It's a certain ethnic group. So me and Tony started Latin Slavs because we're both Mexican and Slavs. Tony is Mexican and Polish, but I am Mexican and thank you, Haley, and Ukrainian. So that's why we ended up calling Latin Slavs, and now we have Majorian joining us over the past few months, and it's been awesome.
Somebody asked, why is there a furry on stream?
I don't know.
That's pretty rich coming from, that's pretty rich coming from Conte. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I didn't even know that happened until like today.
Did he just like randomly join in mid-stream? Because it looked like it was just Majorian to begin the stream.
I haven't listened to it just yet because I've been a little busy, but
he didn't even tell me he was doing it, so I didn't get to make a cool thumbnail. Like, guys, just for the record, these thumbnails are awesome. I'm just gonna say that much. Okay. You guys
they're pretty solid.
Yeah. So I don't know who's making the thumbnails, but they're pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
All right. On that note, John, you're back. We got a chance to plug Black Monk Rosary, so that's always good.
Wonderful.
And then I showed people where to find your show. So
wonderful. Black Monk Rosaries. My Black Monk Rosary is a third-class relic of the Holy Family.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's another funny thing that's happened since becoming Catholic is I keep running into relics.
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
If I had a third-class relic that was shipped with a case of beer, does the beer become a relic?
No.
I guess not.
No, because it's not a sacramental.
That's true.
Unless you kept the cans, theoretically, if it were a certain beer company.
I don't think they technically touched the cans. It was just there.
No, they have. Well, possibly. They could possibly be.
I got to reach out to Travis and find out.
Yeah, because if you were
not Travis, I'm sorry. My goodness, Trevor. I got to reach out to Trevor and find out. Holy cow. I just mixed up Trevor and a guy named Travis that I know. Holy cow.
So sorry, theoretically, Trevor. If there were holy images to make them sacramentals, they could be.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, third-class relics can't make relics. You're right. But then the question would be,
you're right.
Whatever they use to make the third-class relic, proximity to the beer. That's the question. Are we drinking relics? That'd
be cool, kind of cool.
The saint
will
travel
Victorian.
Always. Dude, if a saint had made beer, would the beer be a second-class relic?
No, because it would have gotten drunk already.
Fair enough.
It wouldn't be around anymore.
That's true. Listen, when I retire, I want to do the traditional beer fast of those monks at that monastery in Europe.
I like beer too much.
The beer fast?
I like beer too much.
You only drink beer.
I'm aware. I like beer too much to only do the beer fast.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you drink too much or you get sick of it?
I think I would get sick of it. I mean, that's the biggest thing you hear. There was that guy in Wisconsin that did it few decades ago.
I know a
And
priest
he
that
just
did it more
can't.
recently than that.
Oh, really? Did he not
He
get
said it
sick
was
of
awesome. No, he said it was good. I'm not going to tell you which priest it was, but he said it went well.
All right. If it went well, I'm sure it's fine.
My I'll say this: a family member of mine, without naming names or saying who it is in familial relation to me, has been on a beer fast for decades.
That's crazy. Decades? What do you mean decades?
I don't
That's
think that
nuts.
I don't think that person eats very much actual food.
No.
But they definitely always
They always have a beer in their hand.
Exactly. So
well, that's what
probably several guys in Wisconsin. Are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that the Tridentine guys did it? Or wait, no, they're Chicago. I take it back. Never mind.
Midwest.
Yeah, they're not Wisconsin. I thought she was suggesting that Trevor and like his family all did it or something.
That'd be awesome.
So where we were at was you and your wife became Byzantine Catholic, or not Byzantine. Sorry. You were Latin Catholics who go to Byzantine now because she's like, let's just go here now.
Yeah. So, and I talked to the priest there. I talked to priests at the Novus Ordo and the priest at the Byzantine. The priest of the Byzantine said, I want to wait 5 years until you're officially Byzantine. But
you convert to, or not convert, but switch rights.
Switch rights, yeah.
Because it's like a one-time deal. You can't do that twice.
No, you can't do it twice. And I wouldn't mind because it's part of my family tradition, which is partially why. It's also because I love the spirituality, and it has a certain element of storytelling that hits home really well. There's always a story to be told during liturgy, and I can't help but notice it and love it. But the Novus Ordo priest, our pastor at the Novus Ordo parish, I told him, like, hey, this is what's going on, and I want to switch rights. This is before confirmation.
Okay. Well, you told him before you got confirmed that you're like, hey, by the way,
I plan on doing this.
I'm ditching you guys to go to this Eastern Rite church.
And you know what he told me? He's like, yeah, that makes sense. Do it. Because during the class, like, they would ask, like, I think the Orthodox think this, or I think the Easterns think this, and I'd be like, that's actually not what they say.
You're like, hold up.
Actually, what they actually say. No. So my pastor's in the Latin church is perfectly fine with it, and he's close with the bishop currently. But great stuff. So we're going to be Byzantine probably within 5 years. So within the next 5 children.
That's assuming a lot of things there, but no, I'm just kidding. I did, okay, so I don't know if you know Joe Enders or not.
No.
He's a cool dude. He had posted something, and the response from this woman on Twitter was basically, you have 2 children, so you've slept with your wife twice. I was like, what?
Are you an insane person?
What?
Are you an insane person? What are you talking about?
I'm so confused. It looked like she was just basically trying to call him an incel and then realized he was married with 2 children.
Yeah. It's hard work when you try to do that.
It's like you can't really make that work. Sorry, guys. Or gals in this case.
Gals, yeah. I mean, my family thinks it's insane that I want more than like 2 or 3.
I think my family's still surprised at the number I have.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're on number 6 here. So
no, yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, bros, I don't want to hear about the number of times.
That is a strange thing to
I know
say in there on the internet, like for people to see.
Yes, like why would you say it? Anyways, then of course the response was like, I must be the most virulent man ever to be 2 for 2 ever. It's like, oh man.
Why would you say that?
I'm sorry, guys.
There's a lot of things people put on the internet that I just don't think that's right.
I mean, but that's what she's saying, right? Because she's like, well, you did it twice. Like, bleh. Like, okay, whatever, lady.
Cool story, bro.
About the fireman neighbor post?
I'll tell you about it later. I know what that's about.
Is this something that doesn't need to be talked about?
I don't think we should talk about that.
All right, we won't.
And I didn't know what it was on Monday. And thank you for the man that sent this. My eyes have burned holes.
Oh, so this is not something personal. This is something you had to see that you shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me about it. We're good.
No.
More for cozy.
Honestly,
here we go, guys.
I don't think you would want to know.
More cozy TV. Here we go.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really uncomfortable. I don't
I have
think
to
someone
say,
who professes themselves to be a Christian should say things like that on the internet.
Side note.
That's all I'll leave. Oh, Majorian.
It's a Will Nolan reference. Gross.
It is. No. It is. That's what it is. Majorian. I was trying not to say that. Okay. I was trying to keep clear.
Listen, for Haley being such a straight arrow, she knows a lot more about this cozy TV stuff than I do. She's plugging a Telegram here too. My goodness.
I've heard of cozy TV like 3 times.
Well, you know why cozy TV is as relevant as it is because
yes, I did.
A certain streamer was there for a while.
Did
Lila say something? No, it has nothing to do with Lila. Oh my god.
Nothing to do with Lila.
She's stirring the pot tonight, guys. Holy cow. Haley is really getting in here. Anyway, she's my mod and she's stirring the pot. This is great. Okay, John. So tell me, whose idea was it to start the Latin Slavs?
It was both of ours. We had a few beers at that point.
The name is perfect, though. Who came up with it?
Me, actually.
You did.
Right. I came up with Latin Slavs because Latino Slavs just didn't roll off the tongue as well.
No, it'd be Latinus Slavs.
Latinus Slavs, yeah. So I decided on it because me and Tony would have FaceTime calls and we'd talk for hours about things, just all the things. And I was like, why don't we just start a podcast? He's like, yeah, dude, we should totally start a podcast. And then we started to compile everything together. Then we released our first episode that was 3 hours long, and we both drank a little too much. And then we condensed it down after that because then we were both married, and then I had the baby, and we just needed to keep it a little more coherent. So that's what ended up happening. Yeah.
I was here early for the Latin Slavs, guys. I just want to make sure you guys know
that is true.
I was early.
I was entering a world that I did not know, and I was not prepared for it. But I am so happy to be a part of this world. It's awesome.
Fair enough. All right, so John, I do appreciate you being here. Is there anything else you want to say before we call this one podcast?
Well, I won't be there tomorrow, but please go check out Latin Slavs. They're a good bunch of guys. We sometimes have people on, and glory to Jesus Christ. Glory forever.
Absolutely. If anybody's having a hard time finding the Latin Slavs, I'm going to put them on the screen one more time for you guys. Seriously, go check them out. My favorite one, I think, is this one, the Latin Slav plan. That is a perfect thumbnail.
Yeah,
like, my
goodness. Really is.
And Anthony with the cigarette just takes the cake. So
cigarettes, love them.
Cigarettes, exactly. Not Zin, cigarettes. Anyway, we sometimes have good people on.
We have good people on pretty consistently.
Yeah. This podcast is anywhere between 1 and 3 hours, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys on the next one. And hopefully I'll get John back on in the future. So, all right. On that note, we'll see you. Actually, I'm going to be doing another podcast on Thursday. And since we got 30 people watching, I'll tell you who it is. It's going to be Elijah Schaefer.
That would be pretty cool.
It's going to be legit. All right. So we'll see you guys then. Bye, guys. Oh, that's not the right button.
Oh.